Bang, man.
He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Absolutely Jason Stewart. I have as my guest today my dear, dear friend Wendy Hammers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jason. It's fantastic to finally be
here after 2 years.
Yeah.
It's really longer than 2 years.
It is.
Because I wanted you on the other show, on the other network.
You wanted me before you had a show.
Yeah, when I had the show at Radio Titans, I wanted you to
Oh,
come
that's right.
on.
Yeah, well.
So I tried for a very, very long time.
I know.
You're a very popular lady.
Oh, thank you.
So the first thing I love to do is I love to talk about how we met.
Okay, great.
And I do remember how we met. And
Was
I'm
it at
think-
the Comedy Store?
Comedy Store in the Belly Room.
Uh-huh.
You had a very
Severe?
hairdo, yes. It was either very Dorothy Hamill of some sort, with bangs.
A lot of Asian guys used to talk to me in fluent Japanese and Chinese in the, when I go to Chinatown, New York. And I said, I'm Jewish, I eat Chinese food, but I don't know how to speak your language. But yes, it was a very dark black, severe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were adorable, and you talked very, very fast, and I didn't understand anything you really said. It was almost like you were talking in Chinese. And we became sort of friendly through work. We somehow worked together quite a bit, and I knew your ex-husband, Steve Middleman.
I knew him a little bit too, yes. Just a little.
I mean, I knew you before you married him.
Do you remember something about cowbells in your act early on?
Oh, yeah.
Something with cowbells.
Not
and there was-
cowbells. I used to wear a cow vest or a cow jacket, and I would walk on
Do
stage.
you still have that vest?
I don't. I think I gave it away to somebody.
But you're trim. It would still fit you.
Oh.
And that's all that matters.
Yes.
Even if you don't want to wear it, the fact that you could, if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would be frightening. I kept the leopard jacket and the tiger jacket I kept. That I still have.
That's still in style.
Yeah, I'm not wearing it anywhere. I wore it once to a Halloween party when someone said you must wear a costume, and I thought, what am I going to wear?
And it counted?
Yeah, that counted as a costume. But that was about it. I have no desire to wear a costume ever again.
You don't need well, you're exposed now in your act. You're really who you are.
Yes.
You weren't always as free as you are now in your act.
And I'm interviewing you.
That's true. I forgot. Thanks for the
So
reminder.
you are actress, writer, comedian. You have become sort of a guru in a sense. I think of you as the spoken word guru. I mean, it was just something. And
Yeah, some people call me the story whisperer.
yeah, I mean, and you were kind enough to let me be in your class. Sometimes I paid, sometimes I didn't, and you were so nice.
It's my pleasure to
to
have
let
you.
me let me be there, and I still have, pieces of it everywhere.
Well, the same love I have for storytelling shows up in many areas of my life. Actors love stories, really good stories, as do filmmakers, writers, comics. It's all about the story. So, and I'm interested in community. I'm interested in making the world a sweeter, softer, safer place. And I feel like when we get together and we tell each other our stories, it does that. So that's how it started. And I started in a bookstore with, a couple of people and cookies and milk. We charge $5, and now we're in a 300-seat theater and we're live streaming, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And
Tasty Words, it's called.
It's called Tasty Words. And we both had a very dear friend that passed, who was a much closer friend to you, was Judy Toll. Why don't we just show a picture of Judy, Kay?
Where's Miss Judy? Oh, with the earrings, the ever-present. Do you remember her cherry earrings?
I could certainly get enough of them. It was enough.
I know.
It was everything. It didn't matter where she was.
She never could meet a guy, and then her friends would say, well, if you didn't dress like you were, in the lemon shop, lemon frog shop at Sears, like all her clothing choices were really appropriate for a 12-year-old girl in the 80s, but a young woman trying to meet somebody. So, but she didn't have grown up. Yeah, she was.
That was it. I think she was on a talk show there doing her Andrea Dice Clay.
Yeah, she was on Regis, freaking. I know exactly what that is. She was freaking Regis and Kathy Lee out because she went on and stayed totally in character and was very foul, and they didn't expect that, and she wouldn't break character. It was fantastic.
She did a sort of feminist talk back of sorts to Andrew Dice Clay when he was so famous.
That's right. She would go
And
on stage after him as Andrea Dice Clay.
Yeah. And it was really wonderful. So tell us what happened. She unfortunately passed. She got cancer.
Yeah, she had cancer, and she hung in there, and she's fought it for 6 years, but she just couldn't beat it. And in the end, she did fall in love, and she did meet somebody, and she did marry, and she did walk down the aisle with a wig on to I Feel Pretty. It was one of the sweetest, most bittersweet things I've ever seen. But she lives on in all of us. She was a free spirit, wacky, funny as can be.
One of the funniest people I've ever met in my
No
entire
question. She wrote that film with Andrew Dice Clay, actually. Oh my goodness, what was it called? Oh, I can't think of the name. But she had a movie, and she was an original member of the Groundlings, and was a writer on Sex and the City. But more than anything, she
Also
was
had a
hilarious.
pilot called Me and My Knees.
Yes.
Which I had a tiny part in.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah,
it was a
which
guy- I
was,
remember it. I saw
Nicole.
this.
It was Nicole Sullivan starred as her, and I just could not understand why they didn't use her.
Well, that's Hollywood. She actually wasn't able to play herself. She wasn't right for the role of herself. It's
Yes.
really sad. But she lives on, and I did a one-woman show called Ripe, and I toured the country, and that show is a Valentine to Judy. It's really, I learned so much from her, and I loved her so much. And the show was basically about your life is really short, and celebrate it while you can. Enjoy it today. Live in the body you have at the age that you are. And I toured the country. I did 7 cities. I felt like she was with me the whole time. And then I came back, and I got cancer. It's wacky. So then I was like on my own journey, and that was last year. So as I call how I spent my summer vacation, or I do not recommend this diet because everybody's like, you look fabulous. I'm like, yeah, cancer diet. Don't try it. But I'm here.
Now that it's over and you're thin, it's
yeah,
really,
it's good.
Yeah.
We're still because you and I, it's always still about the food and thin at the end of
Yes,
the day.
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't end.
We're still here.
We are still here, and our thighs are
But
not.
she basically it was the impetus for you to start doing the Tasty Words show.
She was I don't know if
Right?
that exactly. She definitely inspired. Well, she inspired this play.
Oh, I thought that was. Am I
Well,
wrong?
Tasty Words came out of yes, in part. You were right. This is what happened. 3 things happened. Judy passed. 9/11 happened, and I went through a divorce. And I literally felt like if I don't create a place for you and me and all our friends to get on stage and tell our stories, my head's going to explode. So what started in a bookstore in Santa Monica with folding chairs and cookies and milk has now become this incredible community, and we do shows all year round and different themes. And now you can hear them. If you go to tastywords.com, you can hear all the stories. And they would recognize a lot of the folks. We just had Stephen Tobolowsky and Tim Bagley and Kelly Carlin, and just great stuff. It's really, I'm very proud of what we're doing. So, fun.
So you've worked with so many incredible people. I mean, some people. I mean, that it just sort of blows me away. And I've heard some incredible stories by people that were either really, really famous and really not.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly one person that sticks in my mind was the late Taylor Negron.
Yeah.
Who
He's a natural storyteller, and he loved the form.
I think it was even more his spot than stand-up comedy.
No
I
question.
think.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Jason. Yeah, he loved it, and he would write shows.
And people know him from
so many things.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, playing the pizza guy. That's pizza guy.
And
that's
Ariarag. What
yes,
was that from? He did-
that from his half-hour Comedy Central or HBO special.
yeah.
Oh, Taylor Negron. Yeah.
Oh, Taylor, we love you, miss you. Friend of ours does Taylor Tuesdays on Facebook. Every Tuesday posts pictures of him. She's a photographer, and they were dear friends. Sonia Soanes always puts up beautiful pictures. He was extraordinary. He would say, Wendy, I wrote the story just for you, and I would commission stuff. He would just write it just for the show and be inspired, and really beautiful
I was at
man.
his memorial, and was really interesting is that he lied to everyone about everything. Because his mother got on stage and said, Taylor is not Jewish. We are not Jewish. We are not half Jewish. He said this to the Los Angeles Times for an
How
interview.
funny.
And she said, I want to say it right here and now. I am not. It has now been folklore, and I didn't want to say anything to embarrass my son,
Oh
but
my gosh,
I'm
that's so
not
funny.
Jewish.
But
And
he is really related to Chuck Negron, right, from Three Dog Night. That's his uncle.
I think so.
Yeah, you
Yes.
don't trust anything now.
No. Well, and then when I remember once we were at a party, and I think I've talked about this before, and we were at a party, and it was a Christmas party, and he said, I can't stay long. And he wore his coat, and he wouldn't take it off. And he said, I'm going to Barbara's house. And, of course, we knew that was Streisand, of course, or Streisand.
Streisand, yes, don't
Yes,
get that wrong.
yes.
We know now we've been corrected.
Yeah, honey, a long time, just no one listened. And he said that he was going to go, and he had to go to the house. And he would tell all these stories, and he was telling what happened and how he knew her and how she just listened to him because it was a thing, and da-da-da-da. And then he never left. And that's where I met Ann Beats, who was a writer on Saturday Night Live.
Sure.
I think it was her house.
How funny.
I think you may have invited me to that party. I don't remember.
Anything is possible. I have, between menopause and chemo, I have no recollection. I don't even know your name. I'm so cannot remember anything. I mean, I know your name, sort of. Jason, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I haven't forgotten everything, but close.
How much time? 4 minutes.
Look at these lovely people in your
Aren't
booth. They're
they? No one can see
youngsters.
them. They're
but
very
they're,
young.
they're so fabulous and young and
And they're
vibrant.
so not interested in anything I'm saying. It's fabulous.
No, they have. They're actually doing their own show on the other side of the wall. while we're
Exactly,
here.
yes.
How's it going over there?
Yeah, right.
You got the thumbs up. All right.
So I also saw that you had Callista Flockhart on your show.
Calista Flockhart and
Tell us what
well,
I have no idea what she's like.
she was lovely
Because she's
She was-
married to Harrison Ford, and she seems like,
and he came to the rap party, which made everybody we were just so happy.
oh my God.
Yeah. My dear friend Deborah Kagan and I co-produced the Vagina Monologues as a fundraiser at the Broad Theater. And it was sort of crazy what we did. I mean, it was one of those Robert Townsend moments, all on credit cards. There were 400 seats. On Monday, we'd sold 3 tickets. By Friday, we'd sold them all out. It made no sense, but it was passion. And so we went with it. And Callista was on the show. Doris Roberts, the late great Doris Roberts,
wow.
and Christine Lottie. We had all these amazing women because the material is so great, and it was
Everybody wants to do that. All the women want to do
and
the
it's a
vagina.
fundraiser for peace over
And
violence.
it's been done so many times, and everybody does it. I got to tell you, I've seen
you
it.
done it?
No, I've seen it twice. I can no longer hear about vaginas.
Too much vaginas for you,
For me-
but
wait.
but a little bit of vagina would probably be too much for you. So
No.
I'm just
How many
saying.
times can I hear the vaginas? You know?
oh, I can hear it all day long. It's-
Really?
Oh, it's fabulous. Yes, that's what they're doing right now in the booth.
They're doing
the
vagina monologues. Yes. And so, what? So, is there anything?
So it was great. So we did this, and Callista was literally people were making excuses to walk past Harrison Ford at the party. They were like just dropping things, and then, it's very exciting. He
Because
was lovely.
you have a very large middle-aged women contingent.
I do.
Who would just
I do.
probably
I
eat
could
him
feel
for
it.
lunch. It was probably like the day of the locust.
Yeah, I'm like Van Halen for 60-year-old gray-haired women. I am like a rock star for people who.
I'd say 50 is the average.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I embrace the
'Cause there are a lot of
older.
younger women.
I like getting older,
Oh,
and I
no.
always have, and I've never lied about my age. And my hair was lying about its age because I colored it for 25 years. But now silver's the new black,
Right.
and 50 Shades of Gray hair. I'm all into it because I literally, Jason. First, you don't have to color your hair. You don't have this issue.
No.
No. But first, you start out. It's 10 weeks. You color the hair. Then it's 8 weeks, 6, 4, 2. By the end, my hair was turning gray. I was pulling out of the parking lot. I'm like, why don't I just throw the $250 on the floor? I could buy shoes, buy a house, or I can color 3 hairs that will be gray by the time I get home. And I couldn't do it anymore. It was enough already. So I can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Am I allowed? Well, I literally felt like that. That like my hair was telling the truth, and I was full of shit. My hair, I was here. I'm touring the country doing Right, a play about celebrating your beauty and your age, and my hair is being dyed. So I just couldn't do it anymore. So right now it's in a weird transition. It's a little bit, a little pubic-y, but we're going to get to a good stage, and we're going for the full-on Emmylou Harris, long, straight silver with maybe one purple stripe in the front.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, God.
Ask the youngsters; they know it's going to be hip, right?
Great. Let's take a break.
All right,
okay?
let's do that.
We're going to take a break. We're going to be back with Wendy Hammers here on Absolutely Jason Stewart. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk, and we're really going to talk about Stephen Tobolowsky, your husband,
Okay.
your ex-husband, your
Okay.
kids, your life.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a second. Please stay with us. Don't change that channel. Oh, my God, we don't have channels anymore.
I'm Money B, and you can kiss my ass.
Let me swallow my snot.
That's sexy.
Keep up the good work, Mile Net. Ah!
Let me see how I'm gonna come and check out.
No, I love you.
Oh yeah, why don't
No
you-
cyclocyanabin, the little.
Always switching up. Always switching up.
It's my wedding band. Jumped out of my. Oh my God! I hope it's on Omen.
Call my wife.
He keeps moving away.
Hi, I'm Rob Schneider, and you're watching T Hollywood V.
Z Hollywood TV.
Dang a bang.
Nailed it.
Did you know that 67% of American women are size 14 and above?
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media.
Catch the F up.
Watch us on Plus This
Live
every Thursday
at 7 p.m.
on Center TV.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the
Welcome back to Absolutely Jason Stewart with my guest Wendy Hammers, who used to be Wendy Kaminoff, who used to be Mrs. Middleman. So let's talk a little bit about your career.
Who was it that wanted to call me Mrs. Middleman?
Your husband.
Bill Maher. No, Bill Maher liked to call me Mrs. Middleman. And I used to say, forgive me, but Mrs. Middleman is dead and buried in Florida. I am Wendy Kaminoff.
So you married this very dry, very tall,
yes,
very
tallest Jew in America besides Brad Garrett.
Exactly, and a funny guy, really,
Yes.
really funny guy. And you guys had a lot of chemistry on stage, working together.
On stage.
Yes,
We did.
And I always thought this guy, but you got this wonderful son, Griffin. And I remember you toured with a show called Breakfast with the Middlemans.
We did. Jason, you're going to feel old. Griffin, our son, turned 20 last week.
Yeah.
How is that possible if you're only 27, Jason?
I don't know how it happened.
Yes, we toured the country with Breakfast with the Middlemans. Talk about playing for old Jews. I mean, literally, we would say the lines, and you could hear the audience going, "What'd she say? What'd he say?" And then you'd have feedback from the hearing aids. And you know how a comic says, "Hi, how are you?" You can't ask an audience like that because they tell you. I have a condition, my back hurts, I have pills. They're screaming these things out during the matinee. So, but yes, we did the show. We had a great time. Steve is one of the funniest comics I know, my ex-husband.
Yeah, just really, and what was always really great about him was his commitment to being his own style.
Yes.
Which was very dry and almost a slower kind of pace, which people, I mean, you were so fast. The two of you together was fascinating to me always. And
yes,
was he
quite
in the
different.
movie Unborn with you?
No, it
Because
was with
there's
Kathy
a picture.
Griffin.
There's a picture of the Unborn. Kay, if you could bring it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not Unborn.
Oh, what is that?
That's a movie I did. Oh my God, where did you find that? And by the way, let's just discuss the hair. What the hell is happening there?
Well, it's gorgeous.
But it's very like I'm
layered,
ready for Jersey. It's so Jersey. It's Bridge and
very
Tunnel.
it's very blow dried and.
There actually could be illegal immigrants inside my front part there, and they wouldn't even know they're there. That's a lot of hair. Okay, so I am probably in my early 20s, and Steve is 5 years ahead of me. He's 5 years older than me. That gentleman, oh, he's going to be so upset that I can't remember his name. This is a movie called Chief Zabu with Alan Garfield was in this movie.
Oh my
and
God.
ready for this wackiness? This is how weird this business is. We shot that on the East Coast at Bard College about 30 years ago. And I got an email about a month ago that they're entering this film in festivals now. I'm like, really? I can play my own granddaughter. It's so weird.
Grandmother, yeah.
Yeah, I can be my own grandmother. And but that was,
You look like Lucy Arnaz.
Uh-huh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that show she did? Yeah, the singing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Show us another picture from Wendy's career.
How funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Jason.
Now this is Undressing New Jersey.
Yes, and that is a character I played who was my Weight Watcher leader from New Jersey. Cookie Wahlberg was her name. And she gave directions. She said, Weight Watchers, can I help you? Directions? Sure, we're located right next to the Pancake House. Down from Burger King, across from Arby's. When you hit Bob's Big Boy, you've gone too far. And that's my mom and dad. No, that's not Mac Davis. That's a picture of my father with a Jufro from the 80s on the right there, and half of my mom's face. And that giant picture is me, much heavier. That's actual size, that picture. I was a ginormous human being. So, yeah.
I love that play. I have to say, I loved
Undressing
it.
New Jersey and Other States of Mind?
I loved it.
Thank you.
It was just wonderful.
I love that show too. Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was about 3 generations of women, Jewish women, and Jews and food. I realized, and I told my students this too, we all write on themes, and we write the same questions over and over again because we're looking for answers. And all of my work is about food and sex. For 40 years, that's all I've written about. Nothing's changed. So I have a couple
But
more
now
answers
it's
now.
age and it's I think you have changed because it's age.
Age.
Age and surviving.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But I still want to know what's
show,
for lunch.
show another picture, sir.
No.
This is from
Ripe. My
Right.
solo show, Ripe.
Yeah.
So this is.
I've seen I think 2 or 3 different versions of it.
And then we toured. We went Vancouver, the Chutzpah Festival. Been to Florida, New York, St. Louis, Minneapolis, all over with the show. A lot of fun. This
And
show,
you're still doing it on occasion.
I'm still doing it. I'm going to in 2017. I'm going back on full tour with this show, and with a little bit of added material now that I've spent a year figuring out how to not have cancer. So yeah, I
You can't
pancreatic.
do the show without talking about it.
I know.
It's such a big part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer a year ago. And, usually when you get cancer and you're a woman, people say, oh, did you have breast cancer? And they kind of make the breast cancer face. They're like, oh. And then they find out it's pancreatic cancer, and they look like they're going to die. Because if you go on the internet, you'll see you're not supposed to survive this cancer. But somehow, I guess, the world wasn't done with me.
So you're free and clear now.
Yeah,
just
more
so
people to annoy. I got us to hang around.
Yeah, because the minute people say that, that's what you want to think.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's your show.
Yeah, Breaking Up with Cancer.
Is
Yeah.
that what the show's called now?
No. That was what we called. I had Elaine Boosler and Paul Reiser and Dom Irera and all these extraordinary comics, Wendy Liebman and Kathy Ladman, and they all came out and raised money to help me when I was going through the treatment, and it was kind of amazing. I have to say, it's really great to have friends. It's really great to have them before you need them, and that's what I learned, because when I got sick, I had a tsunami of love. And no matter how much cancer I had in my body, I had more love than that.
I remember
Yeah.
you said when I called, and you told me, you said, I've got so much, it's
I had chicken soup for
I
the
have
next.
too
I
much-
said
yeah,
I can
yeah,
open a
yeah, yeah.
restaurant
I
with
don't
the
need
food
anything, yeah.
and fresh flowers delivered every day, and massages, and people sending me bathrobes, and my friends Max and Michelle Brooks sent me a backup pancreas. It was like a stuffed animal pancreas, and Catherine Michon sent me a Donald Trump wig in case I lost my hair, and which I did not end up wearing, and I lost a lot of hair. But
Because you had really thick hair to
I
begin
had
with.
Jufro, complete Justafarian, so I lost 70%, but I still had,
Now you're a
hairs.
regular person.
Sort of. It's relative. But
No,
yeah, it's
your
coming,
hair-
no, my hair's coming back, yes.
It's still very thick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it looks great.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah. If, I don't have anything.
You look sexy, though. I couldn't rock this look. You look good on you. I like it. My husband's always worried about that he doesn't have enough hair.
Well, he
he'll-
should shave it.
Will you tell him? Can you call him, please?
Every time I see him, I tell him.
The shorter it is, the better it looks. And if
Yeah,
you would just
he
go
doesn't
full
like it.
Monty, he needs
He
to.
won't do it.
Oh, I know.
We should do it when he's sleeping.
Okay. Would you help me? Come
Yes,
over? All right,
no
we'll do it.
problem. But
We'll
then I
do-
want to cut everything. I want to trim and
Oh no, everything else is
escaped.
totally scaped.
Yeah.
He is a modern man. Yes, there's no extra there.
Okay, great.
I like
show
no-
us another
no hair
picture.
for
Show us
anybody.
another picture. Oh, this was great. This is Craig Kilborn, right?
Craig Ferguson.
Ferguson, right? Ferguson.
The other
yeah.
Craig. Craig Ferguson, who was lovely.
You did 2 of those.
I don't think so. I don't remember. No, I think I did one. I've done, as we all have, we've done a lot of
Those
talk
half hours.
shows, a lot of
You
those
also
shows.
did Oprah.
I did. I got to be on Oprah. This was like, she has you can always mark Oprah's career by where she is in relation to her fat. And this is right after she had the wagon full of fat that she pulled out.
Uh-huh.
All she was talking about was fat burgers. It was 1,000 screaming audience members at the Universal Amphitheater in L.A. and super fun. And it was all stand-up comics. And I had a blast with it. That was great. That was a great experience. And this was a great experience too. Although I have to say, I get nervous when I do not sitcoms, but late night talk show. For some reason, it's a little nerve-wracking. But then when you see, if you can't see the audience, then when you see the audience's faces, then I'm good. I like to
There's
see
a
the
pressure
audience.
to it because the people that book it are so controlling.
Yeah, and
They
if you
think
say
they all
the
kn-
instead of the, they pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get all.
Well, because they think they know better, which is really weird because you're doing this act forever, and then they decide they know what works for
Forever is
their
the
show.
key word. If you've done certain jokes an exact way, thousands of times, literally, and they work all those times, and then you have to change it, it's a little
Well,
wonky.
because it doesn't work.
No,
Because
I
number
know.
one, it doesn't work with you because you're not used to doing it, and number two, it doesn't work because it's not how
Yeah.
it works.
Monica Piper and I were just having this conversation because when as you know your own rhythm as a comic, you know what works and you know how to you know what your brand of funny is. And so you kind of have to leave comics alone a little bit. In that
I
way.
remember I did the Merv Griffin show. It was the first talk show I ever did.
Oh, wow.
And they just said, "What?" I went in the office. I did some jokes for them. They said, "Yes, this is perfect," and that was it. I did the show. There was no discussion. I worked on it, and that was it.
So different
was
now.
so
I remember
easy.
on Craig Ferguson in particular, I had wanted to do a joke about IKEA, and they had to cut the joke because I wasn't allowed to mention it for legal reasons. And it was a great joke, but you know, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You got to go with the rules a little bit.
Oh, but I've still had people say, if you could be a little less gay. In your
What does
stand-up.
that mean? Like a little less pregnant?
Yeah.
You know, you of all people who, it was so beautiful to watch your evolution, and then you finally said, you know what, I'm a gay man, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So, but I remember when that wasn't the case with you.
No.
When
Well,
you and I
know
first
me.
met.
Yeah, it was a big decision because not very many people in mainstream had done it.
Right, I know.
I was
You
in
were-
the first group of people that actually were doing that in mainstream in the early 90s.
See, and I was in college in the 80s when in New York, and you know, it was sort of, people were just starting to own their sexuality, and I had a friend, Michael DeBoule, and he was stunning. He had black hair and blue contact lenses. He was so gorgeous, and he wore full-length like mink coats and ran around the dorms, and he was always asking me out. I said, Michael, you're gay. He said, darling, and he was from Boston, but for some reason he sounded like he was British for no reason. Darling, why do you keep insisting I'm gay? And I said, well, all the men you've slept with have told me so. So I was going by that. But he was the lovely man. But he
And you're wearing a full-length mink coat.
Yeah,
I
that
can't
should
date
be a
a man.
tip-off.
I can't date a guy that
yeah,
has a
everybody else is
full-length.
in sweatpants, and
Yeah.
you know.
I just can't because I can't date a man that's wearing clothes that I should be wearing.
No, my rule is I can't date a man who has more facial products than I do. If his refrigerator is full of creams, I can't. No, can't do it. But my husband is, as you said earlier, manscaped. He's metrosexual. He's all about the clothes, but he knows how to fix things with his hands. It's like
Oh, wow.
like a gay man who has great taste, but he likes having sex with me, and he's
Oh.
not afraid of vaginas like you.
I'm not afraid of them. I'm just they're not.
Not a fan.
What do I need it for? What am I
That's
going to do?
true.
What am I going to do with
A
it?
purse. You could carry things in it.
Yeah, but then it'd be all ugh. I go well.
But we agree on penises, though. We both love those.
Yes, we do.
They're excellent.
Okay. So you also did a film called The Unborn. You also got to work on Mad About You with Paul Reiser. I've always loved, that was such an iconic show to be on.
I know. And the story with that show I always heard was that he was looking all over town to find the right person to play his wife, Jamie Buckman. And he was at a party, and not Paula.
Yeah, I was surprised a Jewish guy picks a Goyish princess.
Right, of course.
How difficult was that to choose?
I know, but he was looking for the right person who would really feel wife-like to him. And apparently Helen Hunt was at the party, and they were chatting in the kitchen, and he had like a thread or something on his shirt, and she reached over and she, kind of pulled it off while they were talking, and he went, "Oh, that's my wife," because that was like a thing at a
Jesus
party.
Christ! If you only knew that.
To get a job, yeah, millions of dollars later, it was just a matter of going like this with the hair.
Yeah.
Who knew? Yeah, it was a great experience. I did 3 seasons with them as the warm-up, and I also guest starred on the show. It was a lot of fun, although that was film, and it was 3 or 4 takes of everything. And I think they would have sushi and get massages in between takes. But it was great for me as a warm-up comic out front, because I had 30 and 40 minutes, these long stretches of time where I had to learn how to be comfortable playing with the audience, hanging out, and creating something magic out of nothing. It was great training for that.
You did it quite a lot on a lot of different shows.
I figured it out once. I've warmed up over 10,000 episodes of television.
No.
Yes, because we
No.
would shoot 2 or 3 a day, 3 days a week. Yes. James Von Prague, remember him?
Oh,
The
my
psychic?
God.
It was like, that was my favorite gig ever. I had to
You
play
told me
disco
that.
and feed donuts to people, make them laugh and cry, do disco, and then summon up the dead people all before 9:30 in the morning. Fantastic gig. It was like
And
a dream
nobody
job.
cared because it wasn't a comedy show. Do you know what I mean? Nobody
No.
cared what you did.
But he literally like played disco. He wanted me to get them revved up and have them have a great time, throw sugar at them, and then we would like do a meditation, and then he would come out. It was like my perfect. It was like all the things I love in life, like woo woo, comedy, and sugar. It was
And disco.
fabulous. And disco, which we love disco.
Oh, my
forever.
God, that's
It
hysterical.
was great, and people say, was he the real thing? Because he was a psychic.
Right.
Here's what I know for sure: he helps people. He helps people give them closure and freedom to move on with their life. I don't know what else to say about it, other than I watched people come in and say, I would like to move on with my life. I'd like to be in another relationship. My husband's dead now, and I don't know what to do. And he would say, I'm speaking to your husband. I'm hearing him, and he's saying, please go enjoy your life. And so it was very sweet, and I don't know if it's real or fake, but I just know he helped people, and that's enough for me. So.
It's interesting because I had my cards read the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, by this wonderful comedian, Karen Rutinsky.
Rontowski?
Rontowski.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to say it right. And it was interesting because she sort of knew everything that was going on with my life, but she also knew how I was feeling about it.
Well,
by the cards.
Oh, I believe there are people who really can read people. I
yeah,
do believe
I
that.
think so too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything about dead or things or that,
Mm-hmm.
and she would say that everything's going in the right direction, and the things that were stopping me, and I just really needed to talk about it because I'm going to Toronto for Birth of a Nation for the international premiere.
I know you're the interviewer and I'm the interviewee, but I want to hear about that.
Well,
Are you
we'll
excited?
talk about that
Okay,
off
good.
the air, but
All
I'll
right,
tell you
good.
everything.
Congratulations.
But I do believe in that. I do believe there. I mean, there's a fine line between whatever you want to call it, whether it's instinctual, whether it's how you connect with someone and you know each other. It's a higher conscious, and I call that God. To me, that's the
I
higher
get it.
power to me.
Whatever
Very, very much so.
puts you in that zone where you feel you're clear and you have answers and feel peaceful.
Yeah, and then it's just like when you watch a show that everybody connects with. Like Curb Your Enthusiasm is coming back. Did you know that?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to talk to Larry because I want to do it again because I look so different. No one would know I was on it before.
Oh, yeah.
I was,
You're friendly with him.
Yes.
And I've got to
He's
tell you,
wonderful.
you were hysterically funny. You played the
Airline ticket counter attendant.
yes, and he was like, how do you do a scene with him?
Well,
Tell me how it all went down.
Okay,
'cause
well,
I'm
first of
fabulous
all, let me just say I'm grateful that it was the time that it was because we shot that the summer before 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
And so we shot it in the airport at LAX. They would have never let us do that after that. So.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
For years, no one could have done that sort of thing. It was great. When you audition for Curb Your Enthusiasm, you get handed a little piece of paper that looks like it comes out of a fortune cookie, and it says, Larry doesn't have his tickets. Whatever you do, don't let him get on the plane, and it's fine. Just piss him off. The more you can, the better. And that's what it says on the thing. There's no line. There's no script.
Oh my God. Is that what you did for the audition?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then he comes along and he just says, listen, I'm the butt of the joke. The more trouble you give me, the more difficult you make it for me, the better. Just be annoying, piss me off. I'm good with that. And he was so generous and gracious and lovely. I mean, really, it was a really great experience.
So he's not the guy that he is on the show.
It's amazing what billions of dollars will do to calm somebody down. So he can afford much better therapy. But no, he's a lovely man. He said to me at the top of the show.
Yeah.
No, when I got there, he said to me, yeah, like Howard Stern too. He's not
Yeah.
like that guy. But what he said to me was, I want to apologize right up front for giving you a part that won't fully recognize your comedic talent. And I said, Larry, I'm just happy to be on the coolest show on television because it was a straight part, pretty straight ahead. It's all improvised. We did 1 million takes. It was super fun. Can't wait to do it again. I'm going to campaign hard to do that show again now that I'm, a mother of another color. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. We're here with Wendy Hammers on Absolute Jason Stewart. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. There I am.
I start. Hi, I'm Moxie.
Leading BYOB radio show. Pour a glass of your favorite tipple and tune in on Wednesday nights between 8 and 9 p.m. as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of free nipples. Oh, just flash it would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? People think flashing your tits is easy, right? And it's actually kind of hard.
Hi, I'm Hanny from Lady Pants, and you're watching the top 10 women who are killing it in comedy. Congratulations, number 9, Kristen Wiig. If Kristen Wiig's rise to deserved stardom has taught us anything, it's how a proud parent must feel when watching their kid shit in the toilet for the first time. In the 8 years since joining the cast of SNL, she has managed to earn 2 Emmy nominations, write, produce, and star in one of the highest-grossing female-led comedies of all time, and star in 5 $150 million movies in 1 year. Everybody wants her and she never disappoints. She's gorgeous but awkward and has the perfect balance of bringing all of herself to every role, yet simultaneously immersing herself completely in the character. She was still playing characters named Tuck Shop Employee when she was 33, relatively dead by Hollywood standards, and at the ripe old age of 43, she is a heroine to us all. Only a few more to go. Keep watching.
Bang, man.
Welcome back to Absolutely Jason Stewart with my guest, Wendy Hammers. And you're also a very prolific writer. You've written 2 one-person shows that both...
3.
3?
The first one was Sweatpants that I did with Spalding Gray in New York in the 80s. That's how I got started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's about sweating and panting. And Haagen-Dazs, the Haagen-Dazs Hustle. I made a short film. You know, it's amazing what you can do.
I'm in one of your short films, and I never saw it. I play a hairdresser.
Yes. Oh, I forgot.
I don't know
that
what
was from, right. That was from Undressing New Jersey, I think. We did a short film. You were fantastic.
I never saw it.
Me either. I mean, we never ended up using it, but you were great in it.
Oh, thanks.
I remember that. Oh,
Don't remember.
gotta
But
find
so
it.
you have a book.
I'm working on a book. Yes, I went to New York. I pitched an idea right before I got sick, and so I put everything on hold. And now that I'm better, I'm back to it. We have many working titles, but one of them is, if you knew it was the last day of your life, would you spend it worrying about whether or not your stomach was flat? And I know that's a really long title, but that's essentially what the book's about. It's probably going to just be called Ripe and Juicy. That's probably, and with some funny subtitle. But it's a collection of essays about all the things I've done to try to stay in my body, enjoy my body, love my body, accept my body, times I was running away from my body. It deals with everything from, from the food to sexuality, cancer, incest, everything that this body has experienced in terms of being a body for the past 5 decades. It's in there. And the stories are all really funny. Like the time I got fired from a job at a health food store in New York because I got caught stealing too much peanut butter covered carob almonds. I was like, what are you in for? Carob. No. I mean, it was like, I literally lost my job. It was so sad. But, it's
What was your job?
My job was I was working at a health food store. And I was,
This is so sad.
It's very sad. I was counseling people
Here,
during.
take this from. You move your hair so many times, it's making me crazy.
Okay, is this better?
No, it looks terrible.
Okay. My husband
Stop
likes
touching
it.
it.
He likes it like
That's
this.
it. Stop
Okay.
touching it.
All right,
It's
I'm
making
good.
me insane
All
if you
right.
touch it
I'm
again.
putting my hands away.
Hey,
Look, they're not available.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and I look at them.
yeah.
Okay.
I want it to look good because then you watch the show and you'll think, oh my God, why did I put my hair like that? It looks like a washerwoman.
Thank you. You really do produce the whole show. You're doing makeup and hair while you're hosting the show.
Yes.
It's pretty impressive.
So tell me that you got fired from the store.
I got fired
This isn't
from-
one of your shows, is it not?
4 Steps. Well, I'm doing a show called Word Now in Pasadena at the Fremont Theater Center in a couple weeks, and I'll be telling this story. But you know where this story was? Annabelle Gurwich's show, Fired. We toured this.
I saw this.
We did this in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we
But
did
I've
it
seen you do
in
this bit.
Sanitas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it in town at the Skirball, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's about me stealing food. Everybody's a little bit in touch with their inner Winona Ryder, don't you think? Certain things you feel entitled to. And food doesn't seem like stealing.
Isn't it terrible that she's one
no matter
time-
what she does, she can win 19 Oscars, she's still going to be the girl who stole socks, whatever the heck she did. I know, it's sad. But, and me too. Apparently after your show today, now I'm the girl, no matter what I do, I can become Meryl Streep, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm the girl that stole carob. I know I'm touching my hair. Shut up. All right.
So you're writing a book, and
yes,
tell
very
me-
excited about it. It's pouring out of me. Oh, let me tell you, but I will
Please.
have to say the vagina word one more time. Can you handle it?
Of course.
All right. One of the chapters is called, it's called Are You There, Vagina? It's Me, Wendy. And it's about me trying to get back into my body after having the ravages of cancer and using sexuality. Because when you are sick and you have cancer, you need to have life-affirming things. And sex is life-affirming. Cancer doesn't feel so good. Sex feels really good. So I was trying to be sexual. So I was like gray and emaciated, and finally all I wanted to be was thin, and finally I was thin and I was too thin. And my bones, do you know that skinny people's bones, the butts hurt when they sit in chairs because they have no padding?
I had no idea.
I know, me either. And this is what I found out. Are you guys, do your butts hurt when you sit in the chair? You feel your bones?
Yeah,
he's thin. Yeah, he's like hipster thin. He's like, yeah, I'm just.
Well, because his pants is so low that it's just,
I know.
It's just
his
his
pants
underwear.
are a pair of socks.
It's-
It's bad.
yeah.
I know. So anyhow, but Jay's cute, adorable. So
It's K.
What is it?
K.
K, just the letter K. K-A-Y. Is that your whole deal, or do you have a long?
This is about you. This is not about other people.
I am about other people.
I
though.
don't want to
enjoy
interview
people.
other people.
All right. So, yes. So I was super skinny, and I felt awful, and I had no muscle tone, and I was falling on the floor, and I was, you know, all the disgusting things that we won't get into that you have when you have cancer. And I was trying to have sex with my husband, my poor husband. I'm like, honey, I'm gray and emaciated and throwing up. Don't you want to fuck me? And like, it's like, because I wanted to feel better. And then eventually I felt better, and now everything's good.
Okay, great. It's a lot of stuff.
I love embarrassing Jason. It's
okay.
easy to do. He's shy, and he's now
no,
blushing.
No, not at all. So tell us about Ann Mira.
Oh,
the great
she's
late Ann Mira.
fabulous.
And people don't know who she is. She was part of the comedy team of Stiller and Mira. People know her from being on Rhoda and being in the film Fame. I mean, there's so many wonderful.
And people who are of a certain age will know her from the wine commercial, the Blue Nun commercials.
They're just a wonderful, wonderful actress.
And she's married to Jerry Stiller, who people know from the Kevin James show.
Yes.
And from Seinfeld.
And she played his girlfriend on the show.
So Ann Mira was this stunning, statuesque redhead who fell in love with a short Jewish guy and married him.
Hysterically funny.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Dirtiest mouth.
No kidding. Her running thing was when she would meet you, she would shake your hand, and like you would say, hi, she would say, hi, I'm Ann Mira, and you would say, hi, I'm Jason Stewart, and she would look at you and she'd go, you're not going to use that, are you? Like about your name. She'd immediately make fun of you. She goes, yeah, you got to change that. That's the first thing she would say to somebody, a total stranger. She once met my son, and he was a little boy, and he used to come to my shows and like fall asleep. We'd go out to dinner afterwards. We were at Swingers, the deli, and he like fell asleep on her lap in the banquette. But she would say to him, your mother, this is your mother? She's like, you poor kid, no one. Like, who says it to a 7-year-old? Your mother is a nut burger. She said all these terrible things about me, and he loved it. It was great. She's a lovely, lovely woman. And she came to my little Tasty Words when it was this humble little show just beginning, to the children's bookstore. Every picture tells a story in Santa Monica, and told a great story about her life. People are drawn to
Wonderful playwright.
Wonderful playwright, incredible actress, and very politically savvy, uber left.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what an incredible.
And what a love affair. I mean, they were married over 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're losing some of the old classic, you know, very special. I hope that the next generation.
Of course, daughter is Amy Stiller.
Amy, and another great writer and a really creative performer, talented actress. She also performed on Tasty Words. She's terrific. Yeah, and Jerry, I would love Jerry to come and tell a story. I should ask him, but I don't know if he's in New York or L.A.
He lives in New York now.
Yeah,
I just saw Amy when I was in New York. And then, of course, Ben Stiller is their son.
Yeah.
The movie star.
That's right.
So what's up next for you? Tell us the things that are coming up next.
So I'm working on the book. Excited about that. Wanting to move Tasty Words around the country, looking at places where we can do shows, and looking forward to getting back on tour with Ripe. I'll be doing my one-woman show, Ripe, all around the country, starting again in late 2017.
Have you ever thought of filming it and selling it?
Yes, I have. And there's a really, really great documentary filmmaker, very talented woman named Amy Ziering, and she's interested, and we're trying to figure out in what way we can work together. But she won. She was nominated for an Oscar for a film she did called The Invisible War last year.
Oh,
Remember
yes.
the Lady Gaga was on I guess it was the Grammys or the Oscars this past year, and this song was from her movie. She's done some really great films. So, yeah, and she's a fan of it, and we're trying to figure out what the next step is. I will be doing a benefit performance of it here in L.A. in October.
Where?
Santa Monica Playhouse, October 20th. And always interested in connecting with people, groups around the country who want to bring a woman who's excited about her body, her age, her life, and if any women want to feel good about themselves, men and women, especially women, they should reach out to me.
So let's
at
talk.
wendyhammers.com.
Exactly. Let's talk about age. So
Okay.
the minute you came in here, you said you don't like my hair gray because you don't like getting older.
Right.
Now I want to clarify this because we've talked about age a lot on my show. I find the first part of my career, of course, was not having an identity because I was so young and people like me didn't exist. And then when I came out, I was gay, and gay was.
And that wasn't okay.
That was it's never been 100% okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a challenge at times. People think that the war is over, and it's not.
But
It's
don't you think so much of it too is your attitude, and you make a
Oh,
decision at
God,
a certain
yes.
point and say, "This is who I am, and I'm owning it"?
Yes, yeah,
Well,
but
I
you-
feel that way about my age too.
Yeah.
First of all, I do autobiographically based work as a solo artist. I'm a stand-up comic who talks about my life. Anybody can do the math. I was born in 1960. What am I hiding? And my feeling, I've always felt that way. I remember when I was in my 20s saying to somebody, I just turned 25. I'm so excited about my age. And the woman was in her 40s, and she goes, yeah, talk to me in 20 years. You won't feel that way. And I said, no, I will. And I always felt that way, and I knew I would. I've always felt like if people would tell the truth about their age, then we wouldn't have this stigma. It bugs me. I like,
It is a
I
problem.
like who I am now better than I was then.
Oh,
and
me
I have
too.
more to offer as an artist,
like
and
who
so
you
do
are now,
you.
too,
And you
yes.
have more to offer as an artist than you did when you were 30
Oh,
years younger.
definitely,
Because
definitely.
you lived your life.
But it is in the gay community, the minute you say 50, it doesn't even exist. And also over 50, people that were over 50, I don't know who that is, but people that
You
are
don't know
over that,
anybody over
I
50.
don't know anyone. People that are over this age, it doesn't even exist in market research anymore. You know that. They don't, you're
Well,
done at
it's
50.
completely backwards because
I think it is because nowadays.
who buys books, who goes to the movies, who consumes? Women over 50 are one
Men
of the
too.
largest. Yeah. Well, you do know someone who's over 50. I was born
Who?
December 17th, 1960, and I'll be, God willing, I will be 56 years old this year. And I'm so happy to be alive and be this age. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I'm on a campaign. Maybe it's my own campaign, and maybe it's silly to some people, but it's important to me.
No, I think it's great.
always
I
felt
think
that
it's
way.
fine. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with getting older, honestly. I have a problem with getting older alone, certainly.
I understand
And I have a
that.
problem with, in my mind, I think the hardest thing about getting older for me is that who am I at this age? You know, who am I? Where am I?
But don't you think you're still like the 14-year-old Jason? Aren't you that
I
guy?
hope to God not. That was like a mess. So I don't really want that. But I do feel that I didn't see myself as an older person. So, and I don't know if
That's
you find
interesting.
this, that some of the people that we have gotten older with they become older people.
Yeah.
And that's not I still feel vital, and I still feel like I want to create and be creative. And
I
that's
feel like
a hard
I'm younger
time.
than a lot of people who are younger than me.
You
'Cause it's
know.
attitude. And because I take care of myself, I work out and
Yeah.
I dance and I do things that make me
But I
feel
still want to
alive.
create. I'm not ready
Yeah.
to sit in the house and and just be
Absolutely not.
non-creative anymore.
No.
And I do find that that's an interesting thing you have to deal with as you get older with
Mm-hmm.
people, and you certainly lose certain people because you no longer have anything in common if they want to be sedentary. You know.
I don't relate to that at all.
Yeah, I
the
don't
best is yet
either.
to come. I feel very much in the flow of life and I could do anything.
And also, I have to say, the aging process,
Mm-hmm.
certain things that happen, to your face and things. I've always looked very young for my age, so for me, that was a little hard to deal with.
But what do you think about plastic surgery?
Oh, I don't think I would do it.
No, me either.
I mean,
Scares me.
maybe a little something if something was weird that just didn't feel right. But you don't want to turn into one of those duck people.
No, they're frightening.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's so many scary. And and I'm married to somebody who's younger than me.
How much younger?
5 or 6 years, about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in the classic car auction business. And this is a
Right.
true story. When we met, I said, "What do you like?" He goes, "I like rare, old, beautiful models." And I said, "Hello." That's me. So I feel like he keeps me young. I keep him young. I think you're right about the work, the passion. If you're creative.
Well,
and
that's
have a
one thing
desire
about
to
our
do
work is we can be, actors and writers.
I
and
mean, look at Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda are doing a series right now with Sam Waterston and
Martin Sheen.
and they're
All in
all
their
fabulous,
70s.
and they're all right. They're all in their 70s. They're all as talented or more talented than they ever were, and that's what I mean about we need more examples in the culture of that. So it
Well, I
won't be
think
such
it's
a
not
stigma.
examples, it's more opportunity. The examples are there, and people are living the life. I just think
Right.
we do live in a culture in this world, in this place here, where people of age are not respected. Now, we have 2 candidates that are running for president. Both are around the same age.
Right.
Both around, she's 69, he's 70. And I think that's sort of amazing, and they're both vital people.
They have experience.
You
Well,
know,
one of them does.
Yeah.
Well, they both have experiences, but
But-
one of them has experience in politics.
And the other one has experience in
Has-
what do you think?
I don't know
Himself.
He's an expert on himself.
Yes.
On his own
Better than anybody, the greatest.
belly button.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's so great that we can talk about them and you never have to mention their names and you just say him and her and everybody knows who you're talking about.
I
'Cause
get
don't
such
wanna say his
anxiety.
name.
I get such anxiety attacks about it.
It's
We could do a whole
Did you
hour.
pick your country where you're moving if he gets elected? I'm going somewhere very tropical.
Are you? Are you
Yeah.
really going to leave?
I would consider it.
Seriously?
Yeah, and look who's coming with me. Kay's coming with
Kay's
me.
coming
What do you think about Barcelona? Where you're in? How about you?
They have
Yeah.
to speak English because I have to act.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So maybe
You're
Australia.
exotic American there.
Maybe
It's like you-
Australia.
Oh, Australia would be great. I just did something. There was an Australian theater company that's based in Los Angeles. I did a play with them. I did a reading. and they were fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so Australian, and I was very nice to them, and I wasn't resentful because they take all our jobs. They love to take American jobs.
Yeah.
But they can talk like us, and we can't talk like them. Can try.
We can.
I can do the South African accent. The Australian, I'm not as good.
Well, this has been such an incredible pleasure to finally have you on the show.
Oh.
It's been fun and exhausting. Just to catch up with you. And
Jason needs a nap because I talk so fast.
Well, the subject changing and the thing and what's going on, and here I am.
Okay, so you, my dear, let me just say for anybody that's listening, Jason's adorable and he's single.
Oh,
and he's
stop.
fantastic. So I'm just saying, if you're out there and you are geographically appropriate, age appropriate, for him, age would be anything that's legal. Anything over 21, he's good. I'm just saying he's a catch.
Well, that's very sweet. And if anybody wants to get you, they go to wendyhammers.com, and everything is there.
Absolutely.
And if you forget her name, just go to jasonstewart.com, STUART. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I'll talk to you all next week. Take care.
So fun. You're so good.
I think, man.